So I don't have a snare drum, but I have a drum pad on a music stand, and that's how we're gonna learn. So the first thing is making sure we have the right grip. We're not gonna be doing traditional grip. That's for marchers with the drum strapped over their shoulder so they could hit the drum. Instead of hitting the drum like this, they could actually hold the stick comfortably and play a marching drum on their side. But for concert snare drums, we have a nice stand. It's right in front of us. There's no need to hold it that way. So we're gonna do match grip, which is just like that. And the first thing you're gonna do is find the fulcrum by you're gonna hold it between your thumb and first finger, let the stick drop onto the drum pad, and the fulcrum is where you get the most bounce. If you hold it too far back, it's just gonna fall and die. It's not gonna have any real bounce because the front half of the stick is too heavy. And if you hold it too far forward, it's not gonna have enough weight on the stick to bounce, and it's not gonna actually return to the drum pad. So go ahead and try and find the fulcrum on both hands. Looks good. Both your hands should be relatively the same. And then the position is gonna be palm down, sticks forward. Perfect. Let's make sure that the drum is actually the correct height. If I put it down just a little bit, that looks a little more comfortable. Yeah, that would be good. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is single stroke rolls, or just single strokes. So that's just gonna be alternating hands. We'll start with the right hand first, and then we'll switch to the left hand starting, but it's just gonna be alternating hands, and we'll do 16 hits, and then we'll stop. So ready? 1, 2, ready, go. And stop. So first of all, you can hit this a lot harder. It's not even a drum. You're not going to damage anything. It's just a piece of rubber. You can hit it harder, and you're going to want to get your wrist more into it. It's almost like you're snapping at the drum, but you don't want to actually snap at the drum like this, because it's going to be way too much motion, and it's going to be like a really hard staccato hit. But you do want to be able to get your wrist into it and your fingers. Instead of just wrist doing this, if you can loosen your fingers and actually let them fall and pull the stick, you can get a lot of motion with just your fingers. Like, I'm not even moving my wrist. And an exercise you can do is holding the sticks like this against your forearms, and you can actually hit the sticks against your forearms, and that's a way to practice kind of the finger motion, because you just hold the sticks. You're not moving your wrists, you're just practicing using your fingers how you would on the drum. And you can see how when they hit your forearms, you're actually utilizing your fingers in that way. So you do the same thing when you're hitting the drum, because you're gonna open your fingers and when it's coming up, and then you kind of pull the stick back down. So go ahead and try that out. So just trying to utilize your fingers and kind of bring your wrist up and snap it back down, instead of just the wrist or just the arm. It's a flowing combination of both. You want to be very relaxed, very fluid. You don't want to be super rigid. It's going to make you tired, and it's going to sound really aggressive on the drum versus a nice flow. So let's try that again. Single strokes, starting with the right hand, then we'll switch to starting with the left hand. Ready? 1, 2, ready. Good. Okay, now we'll start with the left hand. So same exact thing, just starting with the left hand. It might feel a little weird. Try not to get mixed up, just keep alternating. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Really good. Okay, so now we're gonna introduce double stroke. So it's gonna, same technique. Make sure you're using your wrist efficiently and your fingers, and it's not really rigid, because again, you'll get tired, and you could also cause injury if it's too tense. But so single stroke is completely alternating. What you're gonna do now is you're gonna do 2 strokes on one hand before going to the next hand. You're gonna alternate 2 strokes each hand. So go ahead and try that out right now without any tempo. You can hit the drum pad a little more in the center. Yeah, I think that looks good. Okay, so we'll start with the right hand, and we'll do 16 counts again, and let's see how you do, okay? starting with the right hand. 2 strokes on each hand alternating, otherwise known as a double stroke. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, now go ahead and start with the left hand. 1, 2, ready, go. Really good. Okay, so now we will come back to double strokes, single strokes in a second. We'll actually end up combining them, but before we get there, I wanted to teach you what a buzz roll is. So remember when we found the fulcrum and we let the stick kind of fall and buzz around, and that was how we found the balance of the stick. A buzz roll is very similar to that action of letting it drop and buzz around, but it's very controlled. So go ahead and drop the stick and let it kind of bounce, you know. Really good. Okay, now do the other stick. So that is the basic fundamental of a buzz roll. But what you're gonna do is you want to have the next stick starting to buzz before the last stick has stopped buzzing. Because if you do them separately, you're gonna hear the individual stick hits. So if you drop the right stick, go ahead and drop the right stick and let it buzz. And then after it's done, you start the left one, you can hear the 2 different stick hits. But if you're letting your right hand buzz, and right before it's done, you start the left one buzzing, it should be a continuous roll. So go ahead and try it out. And then it goes the same way. When you go back, when the left hand's buzzing, you have to do the right hand. Do it very slowly. Don't worry about it's a drum pad. It's not going to be as responsive as a snare drum. But what you're looking to get consistent is a consistent speed of your hands, and you always want to be starting the next buzz before the last one ends. Especially, it's going to be really awkward going from left to right because you're right hand dominant. So that's drummers usually have to practice 3 times as much on their non-dominant hand as their dominant hand because it's really hard to get that matched up. But go ahead and try the right stick. Really, the buzz is going to be the same speed, but I'm talking about your actual movements and comprehension. Just go really slowly. That's how you have to break it down all the time. So go ahead and do the right hand. And then, yeah, just go super slow first. So you're holding the sticks really, really lightly. You don't have to do that to get a good buzz roll. Especially you're going to want your finger and your forefinger and your thumb to have a pretty good grip on the stick, because this isn't good technique, but these are really the only fingers that will control your buzz. I'm not using these fingers at all, and because I'm not using those fingers to keep the stick still, they're gonna bounce because there's no fingers to stop it from bouncing. So you want your fingers to be involved because it's all about the control. But these 2 fingers, the really important ones that you need to have a good grip on. So when you're dropping this stick, that tells me you don't have a tight grip on anywhere, which your buzz is not going to be controlled. You need to have some of the fingers controlling it. These back 3 are more fine-tuning control, but the thumb and forefinger do need to have a really good grip on there. So go ahead and try this, just the thumb and forefinger. A tight grip, pretty tight grip, and then try just 1 stick, hold it real tight in thumb and forefinger, and just like snap it on there. Hit it hard. But don't stop the stick. Just thumb and forefinger and hit this and hit it. And palm down. Yeah. And keep tilting your hand forward when you do it. There you go. So now do that with the left hand. Palm down. Your palm's kind of turning in. You want it straight up and down. There you go. So see how that's a much more controlled buzz? So now try and do that alternating. So do the right hand. The left hand is really, I can tell right there that it's really loose. You need to have a strong grip between the thumb and forefinger. Try just the left hand. That was good. Yeah, that's good. So now do the right hand again. Now do the left hand. Okay, so now you're at a good spot. So now do the right hand, and right before it's done, start the left hand. And then start the right hand again. So right now it's kind of lilting because you're doing right hand, left. There's a gap. You need the hands to be kind of at a consistent speed. So you don't have to do your hands real fast to get a good buzz. You need the buzz to be long, and then your hands can kind of move at whatever speed. You just have to match the buzz. Because if you do a really short buzz, like this, there's no time to start the other buzz. You need the buzz to last a long time so that you have time to start the other one. So we're gonna try that out, and you do actually have to get your hands faster to a certain point because you're never gonna get the buzz to last, 5 seconds for your other hand to catch up. That's why you actually have to go. But when your hands go faster, the length of the buzz doesn't decrease. Your hands are going faster so they can keep up with whatever length of buzz there is, but your buzz isn't getting shorter because then you'll never actually get a consistent roll. So go ahead and try that again. And so now slowly make your hands go faster, but keep the buzz long so that you can keep them overlapping. Make your hands go a little faster, keep the buzz long. Yeah, I think that's good. That's more of like a double stroke roll where you're kind of doing two in each. But the buzz roll is the same thing, but the sticks move a lot faster. So you'll be able to work on that. I can see that you have the control down, and all you have to do is work on getting your hands faster while keeping the buzz long. So yeah, that was really good. Thank you.